What's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning back in to the newest episode of Grits in the City, better known as Girls Raised in the South and the City. I'm Drea G.
I'm Tasha, also known as the Black Road.
And we are the Grits. How we feeling, baby boo?
It's okay. It's been a good week.
It is springtime in New York City, which is a good thing.
Right.
Because you never know what you're going to get. Hell, I've definitely been wearing scarves before until June. So, all right, bet. So that's going to take it to our pour it up segment for the week. And, you know, that's where we like pour it up and toast to whatever that we want to celebrate or acknowledge for the week. And so for me, 420, but you know, it's that season.
I don't smoke, so I don't know.
420 will have passed by the time that they catch this, but for all you smokers out there, you know, it's what 420 is on a Saturday. Oh, they gonna be big token.
Yes.
And it's like festivals going on. They're gonna be at Coachella blazed up. So, you know, shout out to all the people in California smoking that legal marijuana and hopefully partying safely.
But those white people at Coachella, they do weed. I feel like they're gonna be smoking a lot.
I think they're gonna be taking hits of ecstasy. I think they probably gonna be on Molly. They probably gonna be on acid. All sorts of shrooms, all sorts of stuff. But
I mean, I miss my meth beta last season, y'all. He was at all these festivals.
Wow.
He went on that drug binge. Oh, now.
How do you know? Girl, anyway, how you know he went on his drug binge?
I just know.
And then just go ghost.
We were talking and he was just like, yeah, I'm at this party. I'm tripping on acid. The next week, he just went ghost.
Yeah. Smoke a little grass. You all right in my book, you know, so I'll leave it at that.
Remember that one time we had that edible?
Oh my God.
Is that a part of 420 or no? You have to smoke it or you can't have an edible?
You can have an edible too for 420. Yo, I can't do edibles
that shit
no more.
Lit.
Yo, that shit had us zoned.
We look like we was on some major shit.
We look like
restaurant.
It was like a meth rehab. Like, no.
Right. Yeah, we all took an edible. I only had a little bit of it. And then like we went out to eat. We at the table, y'all. We was staring at shit. I don't think you fell asleep. We didn't even order shit yet. That shit was...
That's not true. I got sick though. But yeah.
We
were nodding off, yo.
It just kicked in.
Edibles are good for a different type of high, but you gotta be real careful with the dosage. But shout out to all my people celebrating, you know, 420. Smoke some.
Smoke some, bitch.
But anyway, lighter note, well, actually not really a lighter note. This is more of a criminal note. I'm going to pour it up to this app called Citizens. So basically this app shows you the latest like news on crime or anything that's not crime, like if anybody got hit by a car or a fire or anyone got shot. So it tells you like in your area, in your local area, or you can even search different areas and see what crime is in that area.
So
it's very entertaining.
This sounds like an app to make you paranoid. Someone like myself, it would make me paranoid. And I probably want to leave my house because of all the rapes and the murders that are happening in the vicinity of where I live.
It's like First 48 on the app.
Child.
Y'all. It's fun.
I like watching
going on.
I like watching those types of shows on TV and in the comfort of my home, but I don't want to be in the midst of it in the app. So my imagination is just too overreactive. I can't take it.
It's entertaining because the bitch she got shook up by a raccoon on the app. It put it on the app. It was on the app.
A raccoon hemmed her up?
Yeah, shook her ass right on up. And it was all on the app. It was like, I think it was in like Queens or some shit.
What?
And then on the app, you can comment on the app as well as you can take video on the app.
Yo, these raccoons out here, it's man, crazy. They got problems with rats and now raccoons? Hell no. Shout out to Citizen.
This is a good app, y'all. So for the G code this week, New York is a high risk, high reward type of place. So don't get discouraged by hearing no when doors are slammed in your face in New York. If anything, allow the experience to challenge you to create your own pathway.
Yeah, man.
So basically, I have been living in New York for a couple of years now. And when I first came to New York, I just assumed that I was going to get like the greatest job. I was just like in college, I was the shit. I like literally was a part of, shout out to the FAMU newspaper at FAMU. I was interviewing celebrities, and I just knew that I was going to be this big time public relations sports person. But when I came to New York, it kind of humbled me because a lot of doors were slammed.
Extremely competitive, man.
It's very competitive here in New York City. But if you are a person in the South that is thinking about moving to New York, or not even the South, if you're on the West Coast or in another country, it doesn't matter. If you get here and opportunities may fail you, just don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
Just, maybe you have to pave your own way.
Yeah. I feel like if anything, that's like a huge takeaway that we've learned. And even through this experience that we're doing, it's just like we've kind of like taken everything that we've learned just along the way and along our journey. And it's like, you know what? If there's a way, if there's a will, like make it happen. So, don't be discouraged by doors slamming in your face. Just kind of roll up your sleeves, get it done. And hey, ultimately just boss up.
Right. And then Drea, you had a similar story too, just like me. We both had similar stories.
Yeah.
Can you tell the listeners a little bit of something about your story in the past? Or
similar for me, I came here and I've been fortunate enough that I've had a lot of experiences that I wanted to come here and have. From being able to work with some PR companies that that I had known about prior to me coming here. Even for me, like getting to work with Funkmaster Flex, and write for Inflex We Trust and Hot 97, just doing different things. But sometimes we have these ideas or the way that we think that it should all lay out. But going back to something that we said in the first G Code segment, look up, be aware of your surroundings and be happy for the journey and where you are. And so sometimes it doesn't always play out the way you want it to, but just keep connecting and putting those dots together and all those experiences and all those things along the way of your journey that, made you who you are. Somebody's not going to give you opportunity. You make the opportunity for yourself.
Right. Be a Diddy, y'all.
Yep.
Be an Oprah.
Be your own Diddy. Boss up. All right. So that is going to take us to our main segment of the show, which is our Southern Sound Off segment, as our listeners know. So with this, we pretty much discuss a number of different topics. Sometimes we put our own Southern perspective and spin on it. It just depends on what it is. But today we are talking about roommate culture. Okay.
Right.
And roommate culture here in New York City. Why is this trend on the rise? And is this just specific to New York, or are other regions being affected? Is it just us living with roommates in New York City, or is this a problem nationwide?
Girl,
and other places?
It's a broke people problem.
Yeah, especially in New York City. It's hard.
It really is. Shit. People don't understand our life. Well, my life right now, because I got a roommate. We got struggles out here, y'all.
I actually had a discussion with someone on Instagram not too long ago, and I mentioned the fact that I feel like New York City is a place where people have roommates or people that are native New Yorkers, like they live with their family. But the argument was that, well, this is happening in other regions. In Texas, he said, in Georgia. But, I've lived in both of those places, and I'm, coming from the South. I know that the cost of living, even though prices are on the rise everywhere, still the cost of living in those southern regions, they're still significantly lower compared to living here in New York City, period.
It's a different culture.
Yeah, it's a totally different culture. So we're going to look, we're going to kind of unpack this. So we're going to look at some statistics. So according to The Atlantic, this is theatlantic.com, roommates are on the rise. And the trend has been there since 2008. And so according to reports, they think that the recession of 2008 really spurned this on. So this was the initial catalyst of that rise of people deciding to live together to cut down on expenses. They just couldn't afford it. The economy was bad.
And also in 2008, a lot of millennials and people between the ages of 20 and 30, a lot of them weren't able to afford to live on their own. A lot of them didn't get married. And prior to that, years and decades before, people in their 20s, they tend to get married. And now, like, society has changed to where people are getting married in their late 30s. That kind of ties in with the whole roommate situation. So people actually in their 20s, they were using their partners as basically their roommate. And now, since people don't have partners now, they're like trying to find roommates.
Right.
So it has changed. Society has definitely changed now.
Yeah, because it used to be if you're 30 plus, you know, you're living with your man or you're living with your husband or your wife. Right. And now, you know, it's just grown motherfuckers just living with one another.
Right.
Strangers.
Mia, she was a stranger at her house, girl. It's like that in New York.
And you know what? It's crazy because we see that in New York City a lot. Like, we see that even though we don't see people getting married as frequently, but we see people living together.
Right.
And that is a big thing. Like, it's super expensive. So it's plenty of people that have these situationships or they are, you know, they dating their partners and they decide to live together. Not me though, honey.
Shit, I ain't gonna put nobody on blast, but I have a family member, you know, up here in New York, and she was just dating this man for 3 months and he moved in with her.
Child.
I was just like, damn, like, he got her ass. He up there trying to save rent and shit, and he moved in with her. She didn't move in with him after 3 months. Shit, it's some New York shit, y'all. Like, niggas do be trying to, like, when you live on your own, like, even though, like, right now, I don't live on my own, but I have my own bathroom. It looked like a studio in my room. It's kind of huge. I got my own couch. This dude that, like, I used to be messing with, he gonna hit me up and be like, because he live at home with his parents. You know, he roommated with his parents, shit, talking about, oh, maybe I can come to your house, you know, spend the night on Mondays and go to work.
No, nigga. See, you see how he done planned this whole situation out?
Right.
See, that's the shit that I don't like. Because, you know, I don't have no roommates. So that means that I'm a hot commodity out on these streets.
Girl, you one in a few, girl. You one in a million, girl.
But that doesn't mean, nigga, that I want your crusty, dusty ass to be inviting yourself to come lay up in my apartment and thinking that it's gonna make your commute to your job any type easier. Like, no, my brother, you don't need to make no plans for my space. This is my space, and unless you paying all the bills for this place, no, my brother, you got to get your own. Yeah, they be trying to game you,
or know that you like got
niggas be trying to move in with you and shit.
Been quick with your ass.
Nah, I'm good, bruh. Yeah, no, I like my own space and let him have his own space. And then, you know, if we want to get married or if that's the direction that it's going, then I'll come live with you 6 months prior to us getting married.
You a Southern Belle girl. This New York, they ain't like that out here.
Yeah, well, hey. Anyway, so, all right. So even with that, so we see where the decline or where the trend became, you know, started to rise. So even here, like, it's some different, you know, ideologies and cultural beliefs that some of these subgroups have here, because you have so many people here from all parts of the world. And, you know, even coming here, like, I got introduced to the fact that there are some cultures that they don't even want their kids to leave home until, you know, they're married, pretty much. They want them to stay at home. Like, it's like, and I kind of get this ideology to a degree. Hell, I wish African American culture was more like that. Right. But I feel like if you look at some of these different subgroups, like the Latin community, or like some of the European communities, like the Italian community, even the West Indian, like different, you know, I have friends, a friend from Haiti, her, you know, and it was the same thing for her. Shout out to
where your friend from?
Her from Haiti.
From Haiti? What?
Haiti.
Oh, I was about to say, girl, how you pronounce that? I was like, what
Haiti?
The fuck? It's a new place, a new country.
She's from Haiti, and her family is from there. And you know, she lived at home until she, you know, was 30, and for us,
she better be rich.
Right. But see, that's a cultural thing for them. And I think that is a smart move because, you know, she was probably able to manage and handle whatever debt that she had. Right. But she was able to prepare herself to when she did leave her family's house, she bought herself a home.
Damn,
so,
nice.
Right. So, I mean, their initial thing was, you know, you leave here once you are going to go start a family of your own, once you're getting married.
That's smart as fuck.
But she was able to stay there. And when she decided, like, all right, I'm not getting married right away. I'm just gonna buy my house. I'm gonna have my own. And that's what she was able to do. So I think it's dope, you know, if you are able to do that, and it's cool. But I feel like it's a lot of other subgroups and a lot of other like cultures that where that's more so practiced. I feel like, especially like where we're from, like people can stay at home with their people, and they do, you know, with certain type of economic hardships or whatever, but it's not something that's practiced there as much as I've seen here.
I mean, I think you know, we talked about all these different cultures of people, but I feel like everybody in New York literally lives at home with their family. It doesn't matter like what race.
I understand why. Culture. It's expensive. It's fuck.
Right. Like my family, I ain't trying to put my family on blast. I hope they ain't listening. You know, they probably ain't listening and shit, but hopefully they ain't listening. But my family, like literally, they from Jamaica, Queens. They like born and raised New Yorkers. It's like 7 people or 8 people living in one house, y'all. I just don't know how the fuck they be doing this shit. No shit.
I know how they be doing it.
They payments better be only $200 a month because shit, it's a lot of people in that damn house. I don't know how they do it up here in New York.
I get how they do it. It's super expensive to live here.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't just live with a lot of people, you know, in my household, like my family. And that just comes to the point where we're going to talk about like sacrificing privacy in this city and like the whole roommate mentality. Like, for instance, like I have coworkers out here who live in Manhattan. They pay about $2,000 for rent, and they have maybe a two bedroom, and they'll put up dividers and separate the living room and have another roommate.
Girl, hell no.
No fucking privacy.
I don't want to live on
$2,000 with no fucking privacy.
To live on top of one another. For what? Like
with rats and shit.
You already gotta, like, in this city, you already living on top of one another. Why do I want to come home and live on top of somebody? Like, that seems like the most uncomfortable thing. Hell, when I call this roughing it. For like a 7-month period, I lived in a 4-bedroom apartment.
How many bathrooms?
1 bathroom.
Oh no,
I will never do that again. You know why? Because grown people are nasty. Like, I shouldn't, like,
I'm not nasty.
Wow, like, but when it's 4 roommates in one house in 1 bathroom, so you know the kitchen is always gonna be an issue, and you know the bathroom is always gonna be an issue. Why do I gotta tell grown ass people that, hey, we got to get a cleaning schedule? Like, this is not going to work. Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable in my own kitchen, in my own bathroom, none of that. So I quickly learned that 4-way type of situation was not for me. Kudos to you if you can make that sacrifice, you know, because you want to live in the city or what. But, you know, people do it all sorts of ways, obviously. But
was they Caucasians, girl? Because you not heard. I'm not saying, you know, all Caucasians are not clean, but I'm just saying I heard through the grapevine that, you know, they don't be cleaning and shit.
Girl, I got my fill in college in those communal bathrooms. That's what I do know.
So it wasn't clean?
No, it was not. Girls would leave all sorts of shit in there. Their hair would be everywhere. No.
It smell like hot dog water and shit. Oh, no.
I'm not about to go there. But in that 4-bedroom situation, it was a mix of people.
Oh, it was like white, black people?
Yeah, it was white and black people. Yeah, so.
I hope you to eat from their asses.
Girl, I don't even think I'm a person, I like to cook. I like to be able to cook my meals. Child, I didn't unpack a dish living in there for them 7 months.
What?
Not a dish. I wouldn't go in there and do nothing.
You wouldn't even cook in your own house?
No, because they were so nasty. That's what I'm saying.
Lord, y'all had roaches. Lord,
like,
Jesus.
Some people are willing to sacrifice I get it. Some people are willing to sacrifice to cut costs. What I've learned along my journey here is like your home where you come to lay your head down to, like that is a big part of like keeping your sanity here. Like, and if that shit is messed up, child.
So how nasty was it? Like, was you seeing roaches and mice everywhere?
No, we had cats up in place, so we wasn't seeing. And it was a new building. It was like right in Bushwick.
Y'all had no roaches.
Nah, we ain't had no roaches.
Damn, they wasn't that damn nasty.
They was just, but they was nasty. They was nasty enough, and I don't want to live with no grown ass people that don't know how to put a rotation together. It's too many of us. No, ma'am.
All my roommates been clean. I never had a problem like that. God bless you.
So that was one experience that I've had. But I've had so many crazy experiences, and I know your ass just had left a crazy experience.
Y'all, this roommate situation is crazy as fuck, y'all. This roommate situation is crazy. So my last roommate, I met her through one of my friends from college. And she was cool, she wasn't like a bestie or nothing like that, but she was cool. But I saw like little like stuff in her, little like, questionable things that, you see in people sometimes like, no, I don't know, something ain't right. And even my mama said something wasn't right. I should listen to my mom.
Gotta listen to your mama.
So I was talking to this guy for a little bit. I introduced her to the guy. The guy came over and met her or whatever. So this was like probably like maybe 2 years ago or a year ago that I was talking to this guy at the time. So anyway, so this maybe like 1 month ago, she was saying that she wanted to move out the apartment. So I'm like, cool, I guess I'm gonna move, you move, I'm gonna move. I don't know what fucking bills you owe because I've been subleasing under her. I'm not about to get the lease, so my ass is out. So the girl ended up going ghost, y'all. The girl didn't come home for like a whole month. So I'm like, where the fuck is this girl? Like, she's my friend and she's been acting mad funny lately. So my cousin hit me up. My cousin's like, girl, I think she's acting funny because I think she has a boyfriend now. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? I never heard anything about a boyfriend. Y'all, while I go on her Instagram, and the guy that's kissing her is a guy that I used to talk to that I introduced to her ass. And she never even told me. Yeah. My own roommate, y'all. It'd be your own roommate, y'all.
Girl, yeah, listen, they don't owe you nothing. And unfortunately, that's how it is. Like, you get roped into living with a mixed bag of people. And even though you knew her through a personal referral, like, what they tell you is you never really know a person until you live with them.
She's like the same roommate that left me with the fucking dead cat, y'all. And the cat that was haunting our asses after it died. The same fucking roommate.
Look, well, hey, fooled you once, shame on you. Fooled you twice, or
I don't know what that is, girl. I don't know. You up there talking all type of shit. I don't know what the fuck. You think you have a roommate that was trying you over a cat or trying to fight you?
Yep, my roommate. When I first got my little cat Coco, she basically, she just got tired of me over a certain time span. We lived together for about 2 years, but Coco was definitely the straw that broke the camel's back. But honey, I had to get Coco because I don't deal with rodents. And ever since I had my hitter on my team, I never had to deal with that shit. But she did not like Coco. And I'm not like a cat person, but I love my cat. And I've had her since she was a kitten. Coco was like the sweetest thing, but old girl just didn't like cats. But yeah, we almost
she probably got rats now.
We almost brought her to fisticuffs, but you
almost fought the girl over a cat.
No, not over the cat, but some differences. But hey,
Coco causing all this fucking problem and shit. These cats out here.
These cats out here.
You can't even protect and serve in peace.
Not right. I'm like, I remember one situation, and it depends on where you find these roommates. Tasha, her roommate was through a personal referral.
I don't trust that referral no more.
Man, but have I had personal? Yes, I have. I've had personal referrals here, and No, I probably won't go that route unless I know them personally. You know what? I've had 2 personal referral situations that were like, X, like, it makes you kind of like not even want to deal with the person that, referred you to them in the first place. But like, yo, I had one roommate situation. It was so crazy. Like, this lady was literally crazy. Like, literally, like full blown.
Like she was on pills crazy?
Yeah, like pills. Like, and I remember one time I had to call the ambulance for her. Like, no lie, y'all. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. She's telling me that she thinks that she's having a heart attack. I'm like, well, I don't think that you're having a heart attack because you're able to vocalize to me that you're having a heart attack.
You a doctor? She could have been having a heart attack.
I'm not. But I do know crazy. And literally what happened after I called the ambulance for her, y'all. And y'all know that these ambulance rides and trips ain't cheap. But hey, that's for her and her medical insurance. But y'all, like, she like blanked out when they came. She was just like, why are the ambulance here? I'm like, because you told me to call them. Like, she dead ass, they came in the house and they were trying to get her to go. And she literally would not leave. Like, it took them an hour to get her out. And in New York City, if an ambulance comes to get you and you are not out of that place within an hour, they call the cops.
Why the ambulances gotta get your ass though? Shit.
They shouldn't have had to, but she was like being kind of combative. Like, I don't understand. Like, why?
They forcing her to go with them?
At that point, the cops had to be called. So they literally had to take her out of the apartment, kicking and screaming. Mind you, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I got to go to work at 8 a.m. So that was fun. She was crazy as hell. And then, you know what? Like 2 months later, like I was subletting from her. She was like, oh, I'm moving somebody else in here. Like, you gotta go.
Take your ass out, ain't right?
Pretty much. So that's why I've had my fill of roommates. Like, I've literally had multiple roommates here, and so that's why I live alone. And yeah, that's what I prefer if I can.
My first roommate had a baby. I was the daddy for a little bit to the baby. You know, that was a crazy situation too. But you know, the baby's beautiful now. So sometimes you have all types of experiences, y'all. Just letting y'all know.
All right, I had a whole roommate that had her married boyfriend practically living with us.
He was married, or she was married to him?
No, she wasn't married to him. He was married to somebody else.
Oh Lord!
But she involved me in this whole situation.
Wait, I was involved in a threesome.
No. Andrea wasn't involved with none of that.
Oh, okay. Had to clarify.
I wasn't involved in that situation, no. But yeah, she involved me in her whole situation. Like, how do you go looking for a roommate? You got a whole married man. Why don't y'all get y'all some love shack, some love bungalow somewhere else?
Usually y'all crib as her, like, you know, secret little stash.
And then we didn't part ways on good terms. This bitch stole my jacket.
Was that an expensive jacket?
It has sentimental value to me. I had that jacket for over a decade.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so.
She was just like, this need to go to Ross or Goodwill. I'm about to take this shit.
So if I see her, it's not going to be a good situation.
Over this jacket? Well, how long was it?
It's a principle.
Oh, you still mad about that fucking jacket?
It's kind of like the principle of the matter. So, yeah, so. Roommates, that's a whole crazy situation,
girl.
Man.
I feel you, shit. Cause my roommate, my last roommate, done locked the doors on my ass before I can, change the locks before I even get the rest of my shit. I was like, bitch, I can't even get the olive oil, bitch.
Child.
And it was just olive oil. And I was pissed off over that olive oil. It wasn't a jacket, but shit, olive oil is expensive. Shit.
Child, I feel you. Listen,
change the lock.
You got to count all your ducats here in New York City. But, going back to like what we're saying, like it's a mixed bag. Like whether you find them on Facebook, whether it's a personal referral, whether you find them on Craigslist, like it's like kind of a luck of the draw. You just never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And I know everybody probably knows that New York is expensive, but the statistics show that New York is 68.8% higher than the national cost of living. Ain't that crazy?
That is crazy.
And like 28 to 39% higher for groceries up here in New York, as well as any car related expenses up here. So like everything is expensive as fuck up here in New York compared to any other place.
Yeah, and I mean, I see and I understand why people do the roommate situations. I understand why people, live at home for as long as that they can, because it's so expensive. And these neighborhoods, that at one point they were frowned upon, like for example, like a Fort Greene or a Clinton Hills or a Bed-Stuy,
right?
All these different places. Now, real estate is booming in these areas. People are getting priced out of the city, and then the residents that were living in Brooklyn, they getting priced out of here because it's so damn expensive.
The old people going, it's fucked up, man. It's hard out here. They even trying to go to Brownsville, y'all.
Dog.
Shit, if you ain't from New York, Brownsville is like the south side to where you're from. Pretty like that. Any south side, that's what Brownsville is.
Listen, I feel like I'm good in any hood, but it's some places that you just don't even, why
White
even?
people walking in there and shit. White people be walking everywhere. They don't know what's hood like that, though, unless it's a lot of black people.
Right, until it gets too hood for them.
Shit, they running this shit. I live in like a kind of a hoodish neighborhood. They just be running outside.
I love to see I love to see them outside in the summertime, because the summertime is when it's the littiest. So I just want to see them walking around like comfortable, like at its littiest point. Because
why? You want to see them get robbed?
No, I don't want to see that, but people got to remember where they at.
Scare their ass.
Sometimes you got to remember where you at.
Sometimes you got to put a couple of bullets in the air just to scare people out the neighborhood, but we can stop this gentrification. You got to do what you got to do. Shit.
Let's cut down some of these costs, because it's crazy. I remember years ago when I first moved here, and my very first apartment that I had, it was a 1-bedroom in Bed-Stuy, and it was like $1,250. I thought that shit was expensive. I was like, oh, like this is too much money. I love my apartment though. It was fly, but at the time I thought it was too much money. Shit, I wish.
I wish I could find an apartment that cheap too. Shit.
I live in a studio now. Like, I wish.
My first roommate situation in New York City was only $600, y'all.
Child.
I was like in like the hood, and it was like at the beginning stages of being gentrified. And I had to move out of that place because it was an infestation. But they remodeled the whole place and only charged probably like $800. And I was just like, damn, like you can't find like roommate situations in Brooklyn that are like just 2 bedrooms that are really big and spacious, but like fucking $800. You can't go find that shit.
But you already know that. I mean,
expensive.
Like forever they made jokes about, shoebox apartments. That's what it is. That's how it's always been. They're not like, oh, come to New York, it's spacious. That's not how it is.
Yeah, like in Brooklyn, Brooklyn was known for its space, but they make fucking shit up because when the gentrifiers came to Brooklyn, now they're like cutting up apartments. Like they're buying apartments, they're cutting it up, they're making it smaller like the fucking city. And they hiking up the fucking prices. Right.
Yep.
Crazy out here.
Yep. And so even like to your point about how it's 68.8% higher than the national cost living average here in New York City. And then, when we look at the cost of living, the standard of living, I hear people say all the time, well, you make more money living in New York City. Yes and no. I like we've discussed before, I think that it depends on what industry that you work in. But New York, your money gets taxed. Like, from you got federal, but state and city taxes. So you're getting taxed. And depending on what line of work you're in, like, yeah, if you work in finance, if you work in some type of financial, district or area sector, sector, yeah, you're going to make money. But say you're just a regular, like a creative, like, you know, when we came here, things that we've done. I remember at one point I was writing for different, you know, platforms, different companies, you know, just doing like a lot of like freelance work. Like if I had to solely depend on that, like I would be in a homeless shelter. Right. Like I don't even understand.
They probably charge.
Right. Like I don't even understand how these kids that I've encountered, like how do all these people do all this free work living here, all these internships. And mind you, New York City is an internship hub.
It really is. They be up there slaving these people.
Right. I'm like, it's as expensive as New York City is. It's crazy to me that people still expect people to work for free. And on top of that,
they changed the laws though on that, on working for free. I think you have to pay the interns, because I know when I interned at Viacom back in the day, like, y'all, you gotta be a hustler.
Yeah, man.
Just to let you know. So I interned for free back in the day for Viacom, but then later on, it was a class action lawsuit against them, saying that they're supposed to pay interns, and I end up like just signing my name to this random ass email, and I end up getting money, like back money from because they didn't pay us.
Yeah. And because it used to be so bad. People were literally doing like full-time work, like slave labor for these people. And, it just wasn't a good trade-off. So, but like I said, going back, like if you're an outsider like myself coming to New York City, how the hell you gonna survive? Yeah, you gotta find a way to be able to do the things that you want to do. But, at the same time, you gotta be able to live and make sure that you don't wind up in a homeless shelter while you're trying to do all this.
That's why I don't hate on the naked hustle. I don't hate on like people wanting to get sugar daddies in New York City.
Baby,
this is real.
Get it how you live. Get it how you live.
You gotta strip your way through college. You gotta strip your way through internships these days.
I think that's just an urban myth. I don't know who stripped their way through college.
A lot of people be stripping it. I don't know.
I think that's just a Players Club myth.
Money. Those statistics, I think they make 6 figures a year. They average 6 figures a year.
Girl, shit.
Should they make more money than a lot of beginning people in their career in New York City?
Right.
Shit. I worked in public relations when I first came to New York. I think I had like a contract job in public relations. I think it was $15 an hour. And I don't know how the fuck I did that. Girl. It was the grace of God.
He covered you, honey, because that ain't shit.
They like, for entry-level jobs, like in the communication field.
It's like $30,000. Like, how do you live? Like, I feel like that's so disrespectful. It's like you being slapped, like, and they hype you up all the time. They're like, oh, the cost of living, like, no, they still.
And you get taxed. Like, damn, shit. Them people in the South off of 30, they up there living their best fucking lives off of 30.
And I see why, the subway stations are teeming with people off the streets. Why, you got homeless people sleeping on trains and digging in garbage cans, because, New York is one of those places where if you're poor, you're poor. And if you're rich, you're rich.
Yeah, you got to be like real rich. You can't be like $200K.
Nah, that's not.
300, 400. No,
nah, New York
because my boss make a damn near $500,000. His ass is broke as fuck. He always fucking cheap. But shit.
That's probably because he living way outside of his means. But yeah, New York it's crazy. But, it does have some things too, like, you could do the roommate situation, but you got other stuff. They got like affordable housing or NYC Housing Connect, where maybe you could get into like a housing lottery, or you can, try to find housing based off of your income and get rent stabilized stuff. And that's always the lick if you can get it.
Yeah, because they got like some beautiful, y'all, like in New York City, these affordable housing, they'll put like maybe 10 poor people in a thousand people rich people building, right? So you'll be poor, but you'll be living with the rich people. And if you apply to this lottery online, and then sometimes you may get it, and you may be living your best life with the rich people, you know, like, because it's hard out here. Because even my coworkers, I got coworkers that got like connections to this shit. You know, Caucasians, of course. They be doing the lottery housing and all that shit. They even fucking 50 years old doing lottery housing with roommates. So shit.
You gotta be smart. You gotta be like, it's ways. Like, obviously it's a very expensive place, but you know, you gotta utilize your resources and you just gotta make it happen because it's not for play.
And then also, I just feel like y'all Southerners with y'all cheap ass rent that's only $200 or $500-$600,
girl,
or even $1,000. They be hating on our asses.
Let me tell you, but
y'all stop hating on our asses.
But even home in Dallas, though, prices are going up everywhere. Like at home, like if you want to live downtown Dallas, they're paying $1,200-$1,300 for these 1-bedroom type lofts, or to be closer to downtown Dallas.
They live their best life.
Yeah, so
shit,
but
that ain't that much. Shit. Compared to New York,
right. And then the thing about it is they can
live in the city for fucking $1,200 compared to us living in the city for like $3,000,
right?
$4,000.
And they can buy homes if they choose to.
They can buy homes off of my homegirl. I think my homegirl sister work in real estate. She said they can buy homes in Texas and Houston for making $35,000 a year. I'm like, you know what? The devil is lying because I can't even afford to live by myself in New York.
Shit, I
people
can't
up there getting whole
afford to pay attention in New York. Hell,
life ain't right. Life ain't right.
Well, so that's gonna bring us to our grits pick of the week. And this week we are going to nominate a fellow girl raised in the South. And that is going to be, you know, just for what she's doing and the moves that she's making out there in the world. And so this week, I am going to nominate none other than Sierra Wilson, who is my girl. Yes, I stand for Sierra.
Shout out, Sierra.
Shout out to her.
Come on the show.
Right. And I'm going to tell y'all why I love her so much. She just such like, I love the fact that she's such a positive, Black, you know, empowered role model for young ladies. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's not perfect. She's made some mistakes, but I'm bigging her up this week just because, number one, she got an album coming out May 10th.
Yeah.
And, you know, basically, despite what all the naysayers say when they're like, oh, she should just stick to modeling and do XYZ. No, she gonna stick to singing. She gonna stick to doing what she want to do.
She actually has some good
She's
songs.
a hell of a performer, yo. I saw her perform live. Ever since I saw her perform live at a fashion show here in New York City, like I saw her for free. She put on such a good show. Like I love seeing people like put on performances because you really get a pulse on the artist at that point. But it made me fall in love with her because I was like, damn, this girl puts on a show. She's singing, she dancing. And so I love her because, you know, obviously she never gives up. She's going to do what she wants to do. And I'm also highlighting her too because her man just signed a contract for a cool $140 million. And I mean, rich. They are just the epitome of like young Black excellence. Like this man is 30 years old and signing off in this contract. So she older than him. She done locked this man down. They got a whole family unit. She done gave him a beautiful daughter.
And a son too, girl.
And I love it. And it's just like an authentic Black couple and God-fearing Black couple that's doing good things for their community, you know, not doing no harm to nobody else and just living their best lives. So shout out to them. Shout out to C. And yeah, that's my grits pick of the week.
Yeah, girl. Shout out to Sierra. So this brings us to our segment, Bless Your Heart. So all the Southerners, I know you guys know what that means. That means like, you know, just a sweet way of saying, child, you a hot ass mess, or whatever you said is a hot ass mess, and you need to fix whatever you said, or just, you know, they just
get it together.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. This week I'm blessing my heart to T.I.
Girl, why?
I don't know, man. I just feel like T.I. is fake woke to me. Like, I don't know. Every week T.I. is always getting into some type of celebrity argument online on social media 1 week it was with Floyd over wearing Gucci. And I'm like, sir, you going to go in on Floyd, but you didn't go in on Big Boy for performing at the Super Bowl. So then it's now this week, I think, or was it last week? This week,
Kodak Black.
I don't fuck with Kodak Black, but I think he's a little slow. But I'm like, T.I., like,
I didn't like the comment. Like, he really shouldn't have been speaking, though.
But T.I. need to mind his own fucking business. He always talking shit, and he like a hypocrite. He fake.
He got all them children. Maybe he just want to be everybody daddy, but
he fake as fuck.
He just got to tend to his
shit. He
his
didn't
flock.
go off on. Then he had beef with Gucci Man or Lil Flip, one of their asses. He had
Lil
beef.
Flip a long time ago.
He had beef shit.
That must have been over a decade ago.
He always want to go off on somebody and shit. His fake ass, big ass.
He think that he's somebody daddy, I think. But yeah,
he be up there Googling words and shit.
I'm flabbergasted.
He be Googling words and shit and talking about the shit and writing it down and shit.
He's definitely
like the hood version of what's his
Dr.
name?
Seuss.
Yes. He for real, dead ass, for real shit. But watch next week, y'all. We gonna hear T.I. going on another artist, and I'm gonna be like, nigga.
Maybe we should just tell him to mind the business that pay you. Just focus on it.
Focus on you. Like, I just feel like he a hypocrite. Like, you got a wife, and like you cheat on her so many fucking times.
But Tasha,
like, he fake woke. He just fake everything. If he was really woke, he would appreciate the black queen up in this bitch.
Touche. You do make some valid points.
I
agree with you when you say don't be a hypocrite. And when you made the point of the fact that, you know, he is getting on people about wearing this Gucci, but he definitely was front line and center when they had the Super Bowl festivities in Atlanta. And I get it. You know, it's bringing money to the city. It's doing X, Y, Z. But at the same time, at one point, we were all against this. You know, we were all for Kaepernick and we're boycotting this. And as soon as they, you know, threw a little money in the city, it was like, all right, well, hey, it's a party. So, yeah, we got to stop being hypocritical.
Yeah, mind your own damn business, T.I. Shit.
Mind the business that pays you. Anyway, so on a brighter note, we're going to leave it off on our thought of the day. And it's going to kind of tie back in, Tasha, with what we talked about for the G Code segment. And really about, you know, bossing up, rolling up your sleeves and making your own pathway. This is a quote from Langston Hughes. It says, I have discovered in life that there are ways of getting almost anywhere you want to go. If you really want to go.
That's a lie. But
that's a lie?
Go ahead.
You think it's a lie?
Go ahead.
It's like, no, that's it. You think that's a lie? Why? I feel like he's saying it's so many ways to skin a cat. Just because you get...
What kind of saying is that?
It's meaning that it's many multiple ways to solve a problem. It's many multiple ways to get to the path that you want to get to. Sometimes it's not clear cut. But if you decide that this is the path that you want to take, this is the trajectory that you're going on, you going to make it happen. Hey, it's all about willpower.
My path I was trying to make was being a rich housewife, and I haven't made that path yet. I don't know.
We got time, little baby.
I just feel like
we got time, little baby. Just slow down. We got you. We got time.
But that's a deep quote, though. That's a deep quote. Hopefully one day I get there.
We're just trying to, you keep putting yourself out there, sis. You want to get it. On that note, that's going to take us out. It's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of Grits in the City podcast. Check us out next week for an all brand new episode, as we'll definitely be keeping it spicy. Now, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the pod on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and all other streaming platforms. Be sure to visit us at www.gritsandthecitypodcast.com. And to join the mailing list, visit our Facebook page, okay? Also, don't forget to tell your friends and family about us, all right?
All righty. Peace.
Deuces.